Alright, so we flip the boards around. You can see the wrap and fold it over here onto the deck side, or sorry, to the hull side. We're going to flat all that out now with some real coarse sandpaper, back it, get it nice and flat, and then we're going to be fitting the pod in this area here. So yeah, we just want to repair this surface as best as possible, because once I've fitted the pod, we're going to laminate this whole area and also give it a first filler cut. So let's get this going. 50 grit, I think it is. That's a 40 grit paper. I'm just going to clap this here quickly. Okay, so a quick sand, some 40 grit paper. Brought these laps down and nice and flush with the surface of the board. You see this could, in the sense of a real surfboard, this would have a filler coat applied to this deck and it would be nice and smooth, but we're going to be fitting the pod and laminating it out towards the rail, and we're going to have a final layer coming in here. So that's yeah, this is well prepared to receive that. Nice flat on the corners at the back here, nice and flat on the nose. As I said, we've now accumulated 3 to 4 layers of lamination here, so we've got a nice strong nose which we want for these rcSurfers. They get banged up quite a bit, a short break and stuff like that. Okay, just mark the pod position out absolutely accurately. So seeing that we're going to be glassing the pod onto the hull today, I thought it would be a good idea just to have a brief on the actual pod dynamics. What I found in my experience is that the pod is a very integral part of an RC surfboard. I mean, it's really effectively the only part that's in the water of the actual vessel itself, and so it needs to be of good shape to be as efficient as possible through the water, but also have good function. And besides the pod allowing for a lower CG within the board where you can perhaps mount your motor, have a bit of extra weight, the pod also plays an integral part in the actual yaw of the board. I like to make the pod of a certain size so that at a certain speed the board's actually riding partly on the pod, which allows it to tilt over either way and get onto the rail. If this board is just flat, I would imagine we would ride a lot more two-dimensionally, because the surfer doesn't have the ability to transfer weight onto the rail in essence. I mean, you'll get a bit of weight transfer when you rudder as it steers in, but the chances are that the force of the water would actually keep it upright, whereas with the pod, it's lifted out of the water on the pod and is able to transfer a lean a lot more effectively. So that's the pod, simplicity at its best, and that's what we're going to be fitting on the boards today. Okay, so here we have our pod templates, so we can be assured of the consistency of the pod shape and form. Once again, we shape this out of the high density foam. Okay, so here we're fitting our rough cut foam for the pod onto a template to give us the accuracy and uniformity that we're after. Okay, now we're going to tack our pod onto the board. Several methods. You can either use a hot gun. I'm out of glue sticks, so I'm going to use a quick set epoxy to tack. Okay, so our pod's tacked in place with a bit of epoxy. We're going to laminate it with 4 layers of cloth, and as the layers build up we're going to taper them out, staggering out to the rail, eventually with a full layer of cloth on the hull. It just adds strength overall once again. Okay, rain or shine, building rcSurfer attire. Start by laminating the first layer of cloth onto the pod here. What I do is I catalyze small quantities at a time, because this is a bit of a longer process than what your normal resin mix. So I mix up 100 ml of resin and then I just decant it in smaller quantities.
This has to be applied by brush.
Right, so we've got 4 layers in the pod, tapering out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we'll have 6. In the rudder post area here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers as well. So okay, let's tighten the corners here. Cure for a while before we put a filler coat on to even things out again. 3 layers of cloth up front now, nice and strong. So unfortunately my card in my camera was full. Stopped filming halfway through this process, but there we have it. Pod on the red pepper. Time for the 2 peppers to go jump in the oven for a while on a slow cook so that we can apply the filler coat. after quicksand.